But she must keep pace with this woman, Kate Richardson, who had a 9.6 on the first day of her floor exercise.
The coaches talk about Kate having great wheels. She can tumble like the wind, and she is planning the same first line that Yvonne Tusek just performed. Arabian double front, just a walk in the park for Richardson. A little low on the second line. She has been struggling with her twisting technique lately, and Coach David Kenwright has had to make a few changes. But Kate's one of the only gymnasts on the national team that could actually change several tumbling lines. She has so many to choose from.
Now, speaking of music, Kate Richardson's music's more of along the lines of a European type flavor, more of the traditional. Is there some sort of things that the coaches look at, maybe some strategy that they try to employ in choosing the music?
Certainly everything is based on a personal preference, and Kate and her coaches prefer the traditional style of music. Canada has some very unique floor routines right now, so it's actually a nice diversity across the team, and it's a nice package heading into Sydney. I think the Olympic judges are going to be very impressed with the entire team. Footwork is so important. The floor has spring underneath it, and you need to know how to work that spring, not only in the tumbling, but the dance is critical as well.
And a big finish for Kate Richardson from Coquitlam, BC.
Well, David Kenwright looks very, very pleased. A lot of work has gone into this floor routine. Here's one of her front tumbling lines, a very popular line. Front handspring, front full, punch front pike salto. Very clean lines for Richardson.
So let's see what her two-day combined total is going to be. A 9.62. Man, Kate Richardson is just running away with this. But also fast on her trail is Julie Beaulieu from Quebec. And she is ready to go.
And this is a brand new floor routine. She's making the debut of this performance here at Seneca College just for Olympic trials. Oh yes, this is a much better floor routine for Beaulieu. It allows her to strut her stuff. The previous routine was a little harsh. It didn't allow her to express her own personality.
Why was the mat there, Carol Angel?
Now, she landed on that red mat. Actually, it's called a sting mat, and that's exactly what it does. It takes the sting out of landings, and the athletes are allowed to use those mats at domestic and international competition. It's a safety factor. This routine was choreographed by Florence Poe of Cirque du Soleil, and it is so Beaulieu. And that is the trick. Find music and choreography that match perfectly, but they must suit the athlete. And this one certainly does. C'est très bien.
A big smile for the audience and all those Quebec fans that took a bus all the way to Seneca College to see Julie Beaulieu.
She has had tremendous support and is using it to her advantage. Here's her double pike. There's the sting mat ready for that landing. It helps absorb the impact.
She had a 9.425 on the first day of competition, and her combined total is a 9.535. So Julie Beaulieu is on track. One event left to go. Kate Richardson out to nail her vault and these Olympic trials. But you'll want to hear this man's story. Kyle Schufeld overcame tremendous odds to represent Canada at the Summer Olympics. Michelle be representing Canada at the Olympics. Well, you can join in on the Olympic spirit and fun and also support our amateur athletes by purchasing the official Canadian Olympic team pin and to support your own sport club too. Learn how at www.coa.ca. Now on to Kyle Schufelt from Calgary, Alberta, one of two Canadian men on their way to Australia to take part in the Summer Olympics. And Carol Angelo, what a story.
This is a great story. Kyle was not selected for the Pan American Games team or the World Championship team. Many of us wondered why. But now he's on his way to Sydney, and rightfully so. But he had to do it the hard way. He had to meet COA criteria. Very, very difficult to do, but he is currently ranked among the top 8 in the world on floor. The host at Seneca College invited him here to entertain the crowd, and he is doing exactly that. Men don't compete with music, but hey, maybe they should.
Lots of excitement and a good job for Kyle Schufelt. Just goes to show you, if you've got a dream, pursue it and go for it. And that's just what these women are doing here today. Here is Michelle Conway, and she is now going to take on the vault.
Last event to go, it is so important that the athletes maintain their focus. Here's her vault, Yurchenko half, front layout, exactly the way she wanted to do it.
A very unique takeoff here.
The round off onto the board allows the athletes to fly backward toward the horse, quite blind actually. She bumps up, performs the half turn, and then the front layout.
So now the wait begins for Michelle Conway and her coach.
Okay, overall, good day. One apparatus, and that was it.
On we go now to Veronique Leclerc out of Saint-Hubert, Quebec, 19 years old, very strong in the vault.
Certainly her best event, and the national coach may be looking for some specialists. Front pike with a half out requires tremendous strength and power.
Now, you mentioned that they may be looking for some specialists. Can you expand upon that?
At the Olympic Games, not every athlete will compete on all 4 events. There's a real strategy, and the national coach must determine which are the strongest competitors on each specific event, and some will only do 2 or 3. Veronique is a vaulting specialist. Watch how she comes into the horse, blocks right through her shoulders to gain the airtime necessary to crank that half turn. Extremely difficult to do.
Veronique Leclerc with a 9.234. So she's going to like that score. And Emily Fournier, also an incredible vaulter. We'll have to see how she does here on the second day of competition.
Now, she is one of the few Canadians right now to compete this vault. Yurchenko 1.5. Again, tremendous display of determination. She should have sat that down. The legs found enough strength somehow to stay on her feet. Watch the twist. 1.5. Only 2 gymnasts in Canada currently can do it, and she saved it so well.
So, a few words of advice from her coach as they head back to complete their long wait. Here's Yvonne Tusek, the final apparatus of this Olympic trials. Who will be going to Sydney? Good chance you'll see Yvonne Tusek there.
Definitely will see Yvonne Tusek there with vaults like that. The start value is 9.6, and she does it so well. Now, the national coach would like everyone to do the 1.5 we saw from Fournier because it's so valuable at a 9.8. But right now, Tusek is comfortable with just the half turn. It's a 9.6, and she'll score fairly well.
And a rare smile from Yvonne Tusek. Competition is now over. And now she too